Hello again, John Anderson, Pierre Beer and TV Ramble wants to talk about Budweiser's latest creation of their ads. I don't know if any of y'all have seen it recently on YouTube. I know if whatever video you may play, there's a commercial will pop up. Um, uh, you have uh, these folks talking, these bartenders, actors, but bartenders surprising unsuspecting people when they say, "Hey, you want to try a beer?" Sure, sure. It's a beer that is American style lager, but it has a German flair to it. And then when everyone tastes the beer, it's like, wow, this is really good. It's not bad. This is awesome. They're thinking it's a craft beer, and of course, boom, the surprise. Hey, gotcha moment is that it is Budweiser. Um, yes, that Budweiser. Um, of course, Budweiser has been making these commercials that have been going nonstop since back in February. Of course, we all remember the infamous commercial they aired during the Super Bowl where they took a swipe or a right cross or left cross, whichever, at the craft beer industry, um, telling them that hey, our beer is American made. We're not one of those beers that are sniffing our beer. We're not, um, you know, we're not examining the beer. We just giving it to people who love beer. We make our beer for people who love beer. We've been doing it for such a long time. Um, Beechwood age, our style is far better than anything you'll ever try. And I think when I first said this was that two things I said this, and I posted one on Facebook and another to the guys who I do beer reviews with. I think one that commercial was really was it wasn't necessary by Budweiser to make. I mean, the craft beer folks have their loyalists, their fans, and those that support their beer. I support craft beer. I like craft beer. Um, but I felt Budweiser didn't really need to do this. I mean, they know who they are. They are the king of beers. They've been doing this for a long time. They have a place. They're historic, iconic. Even though the beer it is now bought out by a foreign company, InBev, and now recently, Anheuser-Busch acquiring SAB Miller. So they really did not need to do that commercial. I mean, to me, I think it was a bit petty and a bit childish for them. Um, but also I looked at on the other side is that no matter how people love their craft beers and love this brand or that brand, you name it, whatever brand of craft style beer you like, and if you want to even include the two other American owned companies, um, Yingling as well as Boston Beer Company, the makers of Sam Adams, DG Yingling and Son, of course, the makers of the Yingling Lager. At the end of the day, they'll buy their beers too. But also at the end of the day, people will come to Budweiser, and people who are loyal to the brand or people who are not loyal to the brand, but they know what the beer is. They know they're familiar with it. They've been around it forever. People know Budweiser. The name. It's a brand name. ESPN, a brand. Um, so what do they do by sales? People always come and buy us. They always will buy Miller Lite. They will always buy Miller High Life. They always will buy this. We're going to be around. We're not going away. Even though we may lose our shares and may lose some market share, maybe our sales may dip a little bit. Still, we're going to be around forever, and they'll still come. People will still come and buy us, which is true. You know, like me. Okay. Um, but so tell me what you think about Budweiser. You probably you've seen, and of course they ran a lot of their commercials during the World Series, during the college football games this past couple of months, of course, and during the NFL games. They've been really, really pushing their brand out a lot. I've seen more Budweiser commercials than I've seen than Bud Light commercials recently. So and which kind of is not surprising. Bud Light's the best-selling beer in the United States and the best-selling beer in the world. But I said I've been seeing a lot more of the Budweiser commercials and really been really hammering it hard. I mean, their sales are still pretty good. I mean, they are the fourth best-selling beer in America, or third, with sales about near, I think 3-4 billion. I think it is. Yeah, I could be wrong. But I've grown a fascination with Bud recently. Um, I was at a convenience store and I saw a brand. I saw an 18 pack. This guy brought an 18 pack of Budweiser for about. I bought one and it was up and said for $10. I just did a double tick and I said $18 for Budweiser. Yeah, sure, I'm gonna buy it. 10 bucks. Yeah. So from time to time, I'll go to that store and I'll look around, see what specials. We'll have a few specials here and there, but so few Lay's sour cream and onion chips right now. Saints are playing today against what hell they're playing? Tennessee, some game. And Saints playing Tennessee. I think my team got the bye this week. I think. I could be wrong. But anyhow, like I said, I've grown a fascination with this beer because I like it. I've always liked it. Um, they were the first of many beers I tried when I started legally drinking, 21. Their style and their what they've done and their quality has always been second to none. And I think that's one of the reasons people. And I even had it on draft, which I must say, Budweiser on draft is very, very good. Then again, a lot of beers on draft are very good, and some they'd be like, like Bud. And I've had Pabst on draft. I've had, of course, some of the Yingling on draft. I've had several, the Rebel IPA by Sam Adams on draft. A lot of beers on draft that you try majority of the time. I would say about 80% of the time are really good. And this is one of them that's on draft. It is very, very good. Than the cans and the bottles. I mean, the cans are good too. Cans, you don't have to worry, about sunlight bottles. With a lot of other business with bottles, the sunlight and you feel that there's some of that penetration of sun will kind of change the taste of it. Um, but like I said, I thought the beer was I thought the commercials were kind of unique, and I thought they were interesting when I saw them. And I posted one commercial on Facebook and another on Google Plus. And tell me what you think. Do you think Budweiser is really overdoing it? Do you think Budweiser is trying to? What are they trying to message? Is the message that I mentioned said earlier? Are they doing this? Are they scared? Are they running scared? Are they a little nervous about the craft beer industry? Do they like or are they really just trying to say, hey, look, guys, at the end of the day, people will come to us. They'll go to the craft guys. They'll go to them. They'll sample their stuff, their IPAs or their pale lagers or, you know, exotic styles of beers. But at the end of the day, they'll come back to us. They'll come back to Miller Lite. They'll come back to Heineken. They'll come back to Milwaukee's Best. And they'll come back to us. Budweiser, because our name says it all. As the ad says, when you said Budweiser, you said it all. Boom, boom. So, anyhow, leave your comments on the bottom. Tell me what you think about the Budweiser's marketing plan ad presence. They've been flexing their muscle recently. Tell me what your thoughts on that, and leave your comments on the bottom. Giants and Pierre Beer TV. I'm telling you, keep watching, and as always, cheers.